moved.
Yeah. While you're in prison,
since it's free dental care, you might as well, right?
Yeah. You know, Veronica was a dental assistant in prison. She pulled people's teeth.
Actually, I can't believe she didn't have a boyfriend or something in prison.
In prison?
Yeah, like that. But there was a line at the dentist's office every day for her.
She wasn't allowed to talk to him. You're not allowed to talk to the prisoners. While you're like they're not allowed to look at you, talk to you, nothing. It was pain. Like she said, giving them a blowjob was like really difficult. Like not because you had to be really quick and secretive about it.
There's nothing better than a toothless blowjob.
Let me tell you, there's a lot. Teeth get in the way of a lot of stuff.
Yep. It's true.
They're not, they're great for like eating and stuff, but and biting. Do you bite people? You ever bite anybody?
You can't eat babies without teeth. But.
Yeah, if I love you enough, the only way that I can show my love is by biting you.
You're like a cat.
Yeah.
My cat does the same
I feel very not.
Or a dog
right now.
Or a dog.
Or any animal.
You ever bite seriously, as an adult, have you ever bit anyone, Swags? As an adult.
Like hardcore, like really as a defense mechanism or as an attack? No. As an attack.
Scott, we're late. You need to start the show.
I already started it.
Oh.
We're live right now.
Hello, audience.
Bitch. You love to do that shit, man.
A secretive! Quick!
I'm gonna get a big red flashing light so when you go live, I'll know.
Welcome! Hey everybody, how's it going? It's a Vape HotTub. I'm your co-host. I'm BlackCat here again with Charlie and the ever beautiful, ever wonderful, ever amazing, super brilliant.
Oh, thanks.
One of my favorite guys on the face of this earth, Mr. Vapor Swag.
You sound like a politician there, Scott.
I should be a politician. I should be. I'd be good at that job.
Absolutely.
You basically are a politician on Twitter.
although I type like I'm 6 years old.
Like when you get home, your phone's probably tired. I've seen your tweets. Like if I can't keep up, that says a lot.
Swags, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome to have you back. Well, you guys know what we like to do. It is the Vape HotTub. We like to get bubbly. We like to get super, super hot. But we're gonna unwrap the week. We're gonna unwind a little bit, have some fun, have some laughs, talk some crazy stories like we always do, and focus a little bit on the industry and things that are going on. Swags is gonna help us. He's in Massachusetts, which had a little ban action going on down there.
And some clarifications. Yeah, we can talk about that.
We'll talk about that. Talk about some exciting news out of the Empire State, and we'll talk about vaping. And we'll probably tell some jokes. And you never know. We could all end up shirtless. So stick around till the end of the show. We'll have a couple giveaways and do some fun. Mr. Swaggins, what did you bring to the show, Mr. High-End?
Well, because I literally got out of my car and came on the show, I have these two setups right here. I have the SVA Rat with the Skyfall, ESG Skyfall on top with the DLC and a couple of other extras in there, and this is a nice regulated squonker. It's one of my favorites. And inside of that, what is inside of that? Oh yeah, Pango by Transistor.
Pango,
which is a mango pineapple, and it's really fucking good.
Is that tobacco flavor exclusively?
I actually don't have any tobacco flavors because tobacco tastes like dirt and raisins, and I don't like either of those things in my mouth.
I'm going to report you to the proper authorities.
Well, technically, I can consume. I just can't purchase anything.
Oh.
Or even look at it because they said they don't want it displayed. So it doesn't really speak to the consumer, actually. It only speaks to the sale of in Massachusetts. But I did feel for a while, I was vaping in my car the day of and like the weeks after that, and I was looking around being like, is someone going to report me? I would have just loved to get pulled over by the cops and they'd be like, what's that? And I'd be like, this is a robot penis.
Everyone that vapes needs a dash cam right now. Like you need to have a GoPro set up just in case you get pulled over for vaping. Because that will be viral.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm already the guy that drives 60 miles an hour through like a 30 just to see if anybody tries to take pictures of my car when clouds behind me.
I heard actually that you were driving through Boston hauling ass last week with your windows down, screaming, "The FDAs are coming! The FDAs are coming!"
Yeah. I even wore my old Continental uniform from
that's
1700s. We all have one out
Someone's
here because we all do reenactments.
Goddamn blue coats.
We all reenact every year the battle in Lexington. You know, the shot heard around the world.
Yeah.
I've been, I've had the pleasure myself of actually being the first person shot.
Oh, wow.
War. Yeah.
Dude, a good friend of mine is on the Confederate side. I wonder if you guys have ever...
That was totally the wrong war, but absolutely. That was a little bit later after freedom.
Yeah, you only do the American Revolution. You don't do Civil War.
The Redcoats.
Yeah, because technically the Civil War never reached us because we were that good, you know.
What kind of tea did they dump in during the Boston Tea Party?
It was breakfast. It was English breakfast.
I heard it was
Earl Grey. It was Earl
Grey. That's the fancy.
I thought it was Lipton.
No, Lipton's is what we were drinking while we were throwing the Earl Grey in the ocean.
Fucking Boston's, man. You guys set it off. We got a $10 donation from my brother from another mother, Mr. Pal 702. There is nothing better than toothless blowjob. First words I heard. Swags for president.
Thanks,
bro. Right.
I agree with
Pal
that.
702, my dude.
Thank you, pal.
Love that guy.
I do too.
He's a rock star. In some of my darkest moments over the last 3 weeks, he's been a godsend because like he's just, you know, he walks to the beat of his own drum, man. And he's not afraid. He's the guy that's gonna do it no matter what. And we're all gonna do it no matter what, but we're fighting for it, obviously. But he's a G.
I'm gonna do it.
Thank you, pal, for being there. You know?
I'm gonna fucking do it. So Swags, what else you bring? You got
I got the Prestige Zero, the Stradium Prestige Mini, the Zero, Stradium Zero. I don't know. There's too many fucking words, man. Zero Prestige Mini, Stradium Zero. Oh. It's a 18350 Mac with a little MOSFET in it. Yeah, and that's the K-Fun Prime on top. Thank you. And inside of that, I have 5150 Straight Jacket, which is one of the most complex flavors I've ever vaped, and it's an oak barrel salted butterscotch custard.
Of tobacco.
Yeah, of tobacco-free e-liquid.
Oh wow, you're quite the rebel.
Yeah, it's got nicotine in it, which has been proven to be actually good for concentration, focus, and actually helps with Alzheimer's and dementia, early and late stage Alzheimer's and dementia, according to the studies. That is when it's separated from tobacco, which has a shit ton of ingredients in it, including peppermint oil and grapefruit juice, and that those are the ones that wouldn't scare you, right?
And I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard they take the blue stuff from like porta potties, from the portable toilets, and put some of that in the tobacco for cigarettes too. I'm not sure if it's true, but I saw it on Twitter, so I'm assuming
probably
it
is true.
Antifreeze, rat poison,
formaldehyde. It came directly from the CDC.
Yeah, 29 biomarkers for cancer. That doesn't matter though.
We got another $2 donation from my man, Mr. Gregory Brown. What's happening, Gregory? How are you, sir? Intake Dual is amazing, perfect vape. I will know that because that is going to be next week's review right there. The Intake Dual. Haven't even taken out the plastic yet.
And shout out to Gregory. That was an awesome picture. I'm pretty sure it's Gregory that posted the picture on Facebook. His son's an adult, stopped smoking after being a smoker and has gone to vaping. Wow. And totally no more tobacco for, I want to say, 7 months. So shout out for that. That's awesome, Gregory. It's all about converting those smokers.
Yeah, bro. Stick with it, man.
Absolutely. Charlie, are you going to be upstaged today by Swags? What'd you bring?
Oh, man. I didn't even think about bringing my buffet today, actually, because I was rushing for the show.
I'm getting the idea this might be a bad time.
Vaping on the Walk-It. And my daily driver, the topside dual carbon with the recurve dual, and a Caliburn, which I've apparently left somewhere. I actually I have one of my Caliburns. The other one might be on the charger. I decided that since I preach buy local, I should support my local shop, and I went there and I paid $50 for a Caliburn. And it's got a bad battery out of the box, I think. But hey, you got to help the local guys out.
Is it true that you farted on Michelle all time, Swags?
Me?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that? Ridiculous story.
I just read it.
You read it?
Said, yeah.
It was probably on Twitter.
Propaganda. You guys can't believe everything you read. Haven't you noticed? Like, what are we doing right now?
So let me finish. Let me finish my buffet.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I got this juice propaganda. It's called the Hype. It's a blue slushy, and they relabeled
Tobacco flavor.
I thought was a good thing. And I was like, that's odd. There's no nicotine warning on the label. So I didn't even want to show the bottle of juice. I won't buy another one unless they change that. But I was like, let me see what they're. I think I see something. Oh, this is how they relabeled. They decided to just cover the old one up. They covered the old one up with the new one, and still didn't put a nicotine warning label on it. So,
wow.
They're gonna get some information from me.
Good for you. Absolutely.
At this point, man, if you're not gonna do it right, get the fuck out. Because we don't even have to do it for you. The government's doing it for you. So if you don't want to get shit right now, then don't consider yourself to be one of the companies that's going to exist after we win this thing.
Absolutely. Yep. So just boring old me. I've got the topside dual carbon, and the Barrage RDA.
How's that boring? RDA. I want one, but I can't get one because I'm banned from buying anything.
Banned from what? What are you banned from?
Oh yeah, you can't buy anything.
I'm banned from buying any vape products.
He has to move to buy vape hardware.
You can have them sent to me. I'll send them to you.
That's the thing. I technically can get around that, but why? Why do I want to put somebody else out, whether they're my friend or not? That it adds more fuel to my fire. If I go through the loopholes because I'm Vapor Swaggins and I'm here so you don't have to be.
Right.
That doesn't help me to be there because I have to be.
But the good thing
Twitter,
is,
yelling at
your taco.
Swaggins also lives in Canada, so
Swaggins lives in Canada.
On his way home from Canada
just on Wednesdays,
he can get some vape gear on his way into work from Canada.
They got to cross the federal lines.
Absolutely.
Country lines.
We do shit like that.
There's Donald Trump. Holy fucking shit,
dude! I told you he would come on the show.
What the fuck?
Oh my god, Donald Trump vapes.
Listen, Trump. Stop.
I think he's
banning things.
I think he's in Barron's room.
He needs to stop banning things. Trump. I don't even know what Trump does. I know that people are mad as hell at him. People are mad as. I've never seen people so mad.
You know what's awesome? Just a real quick political note. This is why we all need to just find solace in the fact that we're pushing the truth. No matter how much people try to corrupt the truth and create narratives, we live in a world where you can't escape it. It's everywhere. The information is everywhere, and you can't remove it. No matter how much you try to bury it, you can't remove it. Because look at this. The Democrats, everything that's going on with Trump, this is the reason why you haven't heard Trump talk about vaping. If you haven't been watching the news, I've sadly had to and listened to it. It's all about the Ukraine and collusion, and they're trying to push impeachment still. But turns out Ukraine just recently legally filed that in the 2016 elections, the Hillary Clinton campaign or the Clinton campaign was actively pursuing information to impede on President Trump's. So this is the thing. They went after him for this, and then it turns out 3 years ago they were actually doing this. So it's like, wow, it's like boom, explosion. But
yeah, that's awesome. And like, I'm not, with me, especially now, I'm not party specific. It doesn't matter which side it's on. The fact that because of the internet, they went after him for years. If they would have just left him the hell alone, none of this would have come up. But they went after him for so long that Ukraine finally had enough of it and was like, we can't watch this dumb shit anymore. Let's just tell them what happened.
And let's talk about Camilla for a second. Is it Camilla? Camilla? Yeah, Camilla. Whatever. Camille.
You're not talking about Melania, are you?
No, I'm thinking of
Camille. What's Bill
the
Cosby's
house?
wife?
Not. Whatever.
Talib?
Not Talib.
I'm out. I don't know.
Camille Harris. Not Camille Harris. One of the black
you're talking about
ladies on the
Kamala
Democratic
Harris,
side. The old black woman that was like telling everybody to, incite violence on politicians that they don't agree with. Basically.
She's not old. Is she old?
Or maybe it was Pelosi. Cute. Maybe it was Pelosi. Not her. Not the bartender. This is where things get like mixed up.
AOC.
Anyways, I think it was Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, literally, she went out
She's very wise.
She went out against Trump on something, and then, like I said, I'm not on a certain part of the aisle either. I want to comment on all the ridiculousness.
Yep.
But she went out against Trump, and then the extreme left part of her base was getting attacked by Trump. And then because of that, she had to defend them. And now she's stuck having to pander to these people that she doesn't agree with because they're in her base. Good luck. Like, you know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Karma's a bitch.
Karma's a bitch.
Yep.
Leo Buried gets in the action. $5 donation. New York gets a little breathing room. They absolutely did. Support local vape shops that are riding out this madness. Thanks to everyone for doing their part. And thank you, Leo. And thanks, that beautiful words. Thank you. Great state of New York. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And everybody doing their part with whether it's sending out a tweet, making a phone call, letting your voice be heard. I think the biggest thing for me and the biggest thing for there's two parts. One is educating one person. If you can educate one person a week on the benefit of vaping and the misinformation and pretty much blatant lies that are coming from a lot of health professionals and coming from a lot of politicians, that is a huge thing for us. That's a huge thing. And the other part of that is that you see through the bullshit that is coming down and just looking through that and doing your part to call people out when they do something wrong. Swaggins mentioned earlier how, you know, this mass sharing of information, they can't just pull the wool over your eyes anymore. You have the ability to go and actually research and see what is true and what is not true, and calling people out on that. And that's a beautiful thing about Twitter, because that's all it is. It is basically calling people out on bullshit.
And you know what?
That's all we do.
You don't even have to think of anything fancy to say. All you got to do is find one of the articles that one of us post, take a quote from it, take one of my quotes. I quote them all the time. I try to make it a point to read at least halfway down and find something good. You know, if it's at the beginning, I will too. But take a quote, post the quote as a comment, post underneath that quote a copy of the link where you got the quote from. Boom, it's there, and you have no idea who's going to be influenced by that.
Yep. And if some of you guys that are new to Twitter, we've got a lot of vapors new on Twitter, but if you need some inspiration for savageness, Greg Connolly, he's so professional but so savage at the same time. At least every day or every other day a post will come out and I'm like, oh hell yeah, that's the motivation I needed to go step on someone's neck that's spewing bullshit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The more the savage gets into me, the less professional I wind up being. I'm kind of sad about my last few because I've been swearing and not being.
Oh yeah.
But
it gets to that point sometimes, though.
I do it for work, so I'm really good at being savage as fuck and still professional.
Yeah, you savage.
You
Speaking of savage, dude, well, we talked about not to lead things in a direction, but I need to mention it before I forget. That's what life's like with ADD. Basically, Wired.co.uk, they posted an article that I just saw as I was getting home and was starting to tweet about it. I was almost late for the show because of it, but that just goes to show you that we're making enough noise but I mean, it's still a negative article because they're basically saying this is false news and false narrative and they're random accounts. But then I quoted it once again. I want to tell you, I practice what I preach. One of the quotes is, there's also no way of discerning whether the actors behind the campaign believe in the message they are promoting, for instance, as e-cigarette enthusiasts, or have started the campaign for an ulterior purpose. First sentence is the emphasis. There's no way of discerning whether. So why the fuck are you writing about it? Mm-hmm. Journalism is supposed to be unbiased and it's supposed to be factual. So if you don't have a fucking clue, go write for the Daily Beast or go write for, you know, some extreme left or extreme right publication, because this is not journalism when you're just throwing out random shit. You have some 25-year-old that's reading a bunch of articles and decides I need to throw something hot on the press, and they write based out of opinion.
Well, and that's kind of, you know, with there's pros and cons, what we were just talking about with the truth being able to get out there because of the information day. And unfortunately, that's the downside, is any idiot with a keyboard can post something or call themselves a journalist.
Yeah.
Like, it was before my time, but I have mad respect for the journalists way back in the day when there weren't that many options, and to be a journalist, you actually had to be almost like a politician. You had to be trusted by both sides. Or
didn't Dan Rather lose his job over stupid shit?
Yeah,
like Rush Limbaugh,
and it was like it crushed his fucking whole career.
Yeah, all Rush Limbaugh said was like nappy hair or something like that, and he lost his job for that.
Right. Yeah,
that was Imus.
Imus.
Nappy-headed hose regarding the Rutgers female basketball team. Yeah, that's what he said.
I mean, it is racist.
It's a fucking awful thing to say.
I mean, in comparison, it's like you want to choose which narrative or which hill to die on. If you're going to tell me that racism isn't okay and you're going to fight for that, but smear campaigns and packets of false information and unconstitutional bans on whole industries is okay, then you can get fucked.
Yeah, I think so. The whole thing about the Wired article is basically what they said was that they took they did a really basic Twitter statistic analytic view of the accounts that were tweeting "We Vape, We Vote," and I believe Grimm or Rip Trippers had said go to Twitter and post hashtag We Vape, We Vote.
Yeah, a lot of people
looked at that. They looked at that hashtag, and then they looked at the accounts that were sending that hashtag, tweeting that hashtag, and they looked at the creation date of those accounts, and what the creation date of those accounts were September. Yeah. So they were all new accounts, all tweeting We Vape, We Vote. They then came to the conclusion that it isn't a grassroots uprising, which it really is, that it was bot accounts. That somebody was uploading bot accounts and then retweeting We Vape, We Vote in order to get pressure on Trump not to ban vaping.
Right.
Instead of it actually being what it really is. People stepping up and saying, you know what, this technology saved my life. Absolutely. And I'm not going to go down without a fight. So it really, it undermines what we're trying to do. Hugely undermines.
Well,
bigly undermines what we're trying to do, because it takes away the amount of support that we actually have. It takes away from that.
But I mean,
so it's a very dangerous thing.
It was a negative. Really. It was a negative tweet, but they've done half the work for us to show us the statistics on how many people are pissed off and how many people came on.
6,000 accounts.
Baggins is a perfect example. He didn't want anything to do with Twitter. Until all this stuff came out.
I created a Twitter account in September. I should have used the hashtag We Vape, We Vote hashtag. So my name could have been on there, because you know what? Give me more followers. Give me more exposure so people can read what I'm reposting, because I don't do it for me. If I was doing it for me, I wouldn't be on Twitter, because it stresses me the fuck out.
Yep.
It is a look inside idiocy of this country.
And in my opinion,
it's tough to see.
Twitter is the riot in the streets of the internet that we can't afford to lose.
Right on.
Yeah, man. It is ground zero for this fight. Everything that is going on, the influence of this nation, believe it or not, is through social media, and it's through Twitter.
So
it took me a long time to figure that out.
Yeah, if you're not on Twitter yet, it's basically your only direct line to everybody. So go join up on Twitter if you want. Make your first tweet hashtag not a bot, and blow shit up.
And this isn't bad news. You know, as much as it angers me because it's just more silliness, and I'm just angry, right? I'm frustrated with the fact that we have so many educated people that are so ignorant because they can't read past a headline. Or vote beyond party lines, like beyond what, you know, they're just institutionalized. They're sheep. Like we're too educated to be sheep in this day and age, rather. It's good news for us because it means that what we're doing is working. So good on you guys. Give us more, you know, wood pellets to get us through the winter, because you just stoked my fire.
That's right.
I think the big thing is, and Michelle mentioned this in the chat, it's not conservative versus liberal. It has nothing to do with that. It's truth versus lies and misinformation. That's what it is.
Anti-vaping.
We are on the side of truth, and it feels good to be on the side of truth. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to win, because truth rarely wins, but we're not going to go down without a fight, and we're going to tell them, I see through what you're saying. You're fucking lying. I know you're lying. We all know you're lying.
Yeah. That's right.
And that's what you want to drive home. And one person sees that. You know, a tweet gets retweeted 25 to 50 times and 10,000 people see it.
Right.
So get in there, retweet people, put in your info, retweet.
And it's common.
Keep just flooding information out as much as you
can. It's common for us regulars, not people with a following or anything. I'm just seeing regular people that aren't social media famous, and they're getting 200, 250 retweets. Like, it's crazy when you think about how many people are going to see that.
Yeah.
And so many of these people, like, the new Twitter is great because we have to have you, but people that already had Twitter going have so many people that are non-vapers that are seeing the fight. Because
just comment on one post, like a Trump post, man. You have no idea how, like, a Trump post, a real Donald Trump post, you post an article with a quote there on every one of his posts if you want to. If it's relevant, great. Most of the time it isn't because he's not talking about vaping, but be respectful and just short, concise. Well, Twitter forces you to be that way. You posted on there.
Yeah.
You posted on there. He's got 6,000 comments on there. People are seeing that.
Yep. And I think that's one reason Twitter is successful. We're such a short headline reading generation, and Twitter keeps everything short and concise. So even people that don't want to spend more than 2 minutes reading something, boom, 10 seconds, you've read that tweet, and you can go from there.
Yeah.
So
do you want to go into some weird news?
I do, actually. I was going to say, let's break this up because we have had a few good days in the fight the last few days, and we've got to stay positive. And the biggest thing to me is avoiding burnout because we're in a marathon. This isn't a sprint. This isn't almost over. Yeah. But we've had some great wins. So we're going to I'm going to share a video that I think would be good for some giggles. Scott requested it instead of a few of my other weird news stories. So
I want to see it. I haven't seen this yet. I haven't seen this yet.
This is a video at a town hall meeting in New York.
Town hall meeting in New York City? Probably.
Yeah, in Queens. It has to be. It was at the Queens Public Library.
Oh, lots of good books there.
Is it PAL 702? Oh, no. He's a political scientist, in case you guys didn't know, and he's brilliant. You guys should have him on the show to talk about it.
Can you guys hear it?
Deal, but it's not getting rid of fossil fuel. It's not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you, you're a pollutant.
We have to eat the babies.
CO2. We have to start now, please. You are so great. I'm so happy
that
you put a nuclear deal, but it's not enough. Even if we would bomb
the children,
we still have too many people, too much pollution.
Swags. How long do you think she's had those hairbraids? Do you think she wore those as a child? This
is the problem.
We need to eat the babies. Please give a response.
Thank you. We'll go ahead.
This is where the evolution of our country is.
That's where the hashtag Eat the Babies came from. That actually happened, and it's come out now that this reminds me sadly of 9/11.
This girl's on the spectrum, and I don't mean that derogatorily. I just mean
those hairbraids are nice.
A pro-Trump group has come out claiming credit for sending her in there, and millions of people have watched this video on social media.
And I guarantee you that that's not even true. She's just tapped.
Right. That's right.
She needs to find religion or something, constructive to put her time towards, because guess what? When you devote all of yourself to something, human beings are amazing. We can do amazing things with our minds and with our will. But if you don't allocate that properly, you're going to wind up with berets in your hair telling people to eat their children.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Do you think there's a certain part of the population who would support that stance, that eating
Absolutely.
Babies? You think eating? Do you think it's
just like there's a certain part of the population that actually believes when someone comes out and claims credit? It's like a friggin' ISIL thing. Every time there's an explosion, ISIS comes out and says, "We did it. It was us."
They don't even have to do it. They just freaking throw out a tweet.
Fear, man. Fear mongering, grandstanding, cherry picking. What do you want to call it? Fruit of the poisonous tree, perjury, collusion. I mean, all these words are blatantly negative words to associate with blatantly negative concepts, ideas, principles, statements, and it's all this coming from the people that have power in our country.
So it probably tastes pretty good. Think about it. What do you think?
We're gonna find out how.
I'm curious now. I want to find out who the people are who support to eat the babies. I know they're out there.
I feel like
watch this channel, subscribe if you eat babies, please.
I feel like babies are like the cannibal form of chicken nuggets because their bones are so soft. Their bones are still so soft. So
I bet you it helps with allergies. I bet you that the bone marrow from a young child can cure like a peanut allergy.
Dude, they say local honey does it. Imagine how good local babies must be.
I bet you they're delicacy.
Corn fed.
For yeah, that's right. And then some of them free range babies. That's right.
I think we're on to something.
Rib nuggets.
This channel's getting banned.
Baby rib nuggets.
I'm getting banned.
It's been happening a lot lately.
You can have.
All right. Well, thank you, Charlie, for that. You got another one? Hey, more funny news.
This one was a little crazy. I wasn't sure if I should believe it. Apparently, there's a famous kangaroo in Australia named Buckethead, and
play guitar.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet. I'm trying to get him on the show next week.
I know. I have some friends in Western Australia. They could totally, go in for you guys. They could be like our boots on the ground.
Oh yeah, there we go. Because he's not answering his email, so maybe if someone would contact Buckethead, we could get him in the Zoom room. But anyway, he was first spotted in the wild with a bucket stuck on his head 5 months ago, and people kept seeing him with the bucket on his head. Well, he just surfaced again, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's the same kangaroo. He's had that bucket on his head for 5 months. He's just like surviving and thriving." And
with the bucket on his head?
Hopefully someone gets the bucket off. Now that it's made the news, I'm hoping, now that it's here on BlackCat Whiteface, some animal activist in Australia will go hit him with a sleeping dart and remove the bucket from his head. Or cook him or whatever they do with kangaroos there.
If the environmentalists can stop eating babies for a minute and go rescue this fucking kangaroo,
exactly. Please. So there is a video.
Dude, how is that any different than like when you watch American Idol and like everybody watches it for the people that are awful? Like they're crazy. They're crazy people. And people watch it because they're literally exploiting these people.
So the bucket, what got me, because I was picturing the kangaroo with the bucket like over its head, but the bucket's actually not over its head like I had first imagined. But I'll share a video with you guys so you can hear this Australian accent as well. Not the kangaroo's accent, the news person.
I won't talk over it this time.
Spotted again on the Sunshine Coast 5 months after its first sighting. The roo was originally dubbed Buckethead by Noosa residents after being seen with a stormwater pit box on its head. Fears were held for its health, but it was seen again near Lake McDonald in recent days, disappearing into bushland.
So if some of our Australian friends, I don't know who you talk to about a kangaroo, but
or C.
Yeah. Someone should get the bucket off of Buckethead's head.
I agree.
He can still be Buckethead without the bucket. He'll always be Buckethead.
He's cute, man.
He is. Those kangaroos are so damn cute. I think that's why it's so funny to watch them box.
Why'd they get stuck in Australia?
Marsupials, man.
That sucks.
We actually have one of our community members, Chest Hair Millionaire, is working on a presidential campaign that involves Australia. I'm not sure what kangaroos have to do. Apparently the people got there from all kind of crazy reasons. Johnny Drips is in chat. Shout out to Johnny.
Johnny Drips.
Fucking nailed it. I mean, the vape ban happened, and a week later he had a product out ready for that cash grab. Like, that's workflow. I don't know how you do it, but apparently Johnny's got some freaking immortal machine in his basement that he can do everything on and crank out a
great time to saturate the market.
Yep. So shout out to Johnny for that. He said, I thought Buckethead was a badass guitarist.
He is a badass.
Yep.
He is a badass.
What if that's actually the same Buckethead?
Could be. He wears a KFC bucket on his head.
Reincarnation's a thing.
Like a dick.
Sometimes I make Jennifer wear the KFC bucket for roleplay.
Do you really?
Yeah.
The thing's greasy as fuck.
It's roomy.
Other channel.
It's roomy. All right, Charlie. Any more?
That's all for the weird
funny news. That's all for the funny news. Well, that was great. Well, hey, Swags, you're back. Well, you know, we gotta. Do we have any questions, Charlie, for Vapor Swaggins? Or are we just gonna throw the conversation open? Keep it going. I think we're doing pretty good. We're 40 minutes in.
I want to talk about New York some, but Swags, tell us a little bit about what's going on in Massachusetts. Is it true what I heard today? I think it was today or last night. I get lost in my days on Twitter. Are they selling to other states?
No. So basically, there was an appendage or clarification that was signed. Not by the governor, but by an official who can sign it. But basically to clarify main points because there wasn't clarity because they clearly rushed this shit out. I was actually speaking, I don't know if it was on a show. I can't remember because shit just blending together since September 11th when like shit hit the fan with Obama. Well, that shit hit the fan for 8 years, but Trump's shit hit the fan for us on the 11th. Why not, man? Just like let it just verbally diarrhea out of my mouth. Basically, there wasn't clarification, and I was speaking on a different show about I had a little bit of respect from Devil's Advocate for Charlie Baker in the sense that at least he was like immediate ban. Like at least he was like, hey, this is a problem. Whether he knows all the facts or whether he's equally as corrupt as everybody else with the MTA and the blood money, etc. We can go down there, but I want to speak in facts and what things that have happened because I don't have fucking time or energy for the hypotheticals. Sorry, guys. Unless you ask me a question, this is your show. I'll do what you guys want.
You just go with it, brother. You're good.
But basically, he banned everything, and I was like, oh, this is great, you know, in the sense of the idea of, hey, at least, this makes sense from a harm reduction perspective, right? They don't know what's going on, so they'll ban it immediately. Unlike, states that are like, hey, we'll give you 2 weeks to sell all your shit, even though it's killing people. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense, right?
Did they ban cigarettes or just all vaping products?
They banned, in Massachusetts, to clarify, so we'll stick to that so I don't confuse anybody. In Massachusetts, they banned all devices and liquids from display and sale. But the clarification that came out today, October 3rd, or yesterday, October 3rd, was, sorry, I thought it was the 3rd still. Yesterday, October 3rd, was that, you couldn't sell, other states can't sell to Massachusetts. And it also clarified that Massachusetts online retailers can sell to states that aren't banned. So in essence, just proving more or completely, that's why now you get like why I was saying I was like devil's advocating. Now I have to take that back and say, all right, it's just all ludicrous, just like all the other fucking rulings, because if it's killing people, why are you even allowing it to be sold at all? Like, oh, but now we're going to say you can sell to other states that aren't banned. But if you're in Massachusetts, you can't buy anything as a consumer. And if you have a business in Massachusetts, you can't sell or display it. Anyways, we're still looking at January 25th, 2020 for the ban to end. And you can expect the legislature to come into play and be discussed prior to that happening. But don't get down on that, because what we're seeing in New York, which I'll just relay to you, Charlie, but what we're seeing in New York is hope, is showing that, if anybody says don't appeal or don't find some legal action to pursue, fuck that. Like Dr. Oz saying don't vape, or like anybody saying don't do this. I couldn't
believe that. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, you should. Well, I was just laterally handing it off to Charlie. But
Charlie likes to get up in the middle of the show. He doesn't
Charlie, let me hand this off.
Charlie gets zero fucks. He just gets up. He's like,
I'll be right back.
There was a kid. There was a cat chewing on my camera cable.
All right, fair enough.
So, New York. Huge shout out to the people in New York. I hope I don't screw up his name, but Vic Canestraro and John Glosser and the VTA have been fighting like hell since Homo came out. VTA actually has been working on it a long time for when it did come down the pipe. And I told you guys last week or the week before, we talked about the Article 78, which is the New York Supreme Court process for government overreach that steps on businesses' toes. It's basically simply a review process if something like the New York ban happens, to go to the court and say, hey, I think this is going to kill my business. Could you take a second look at it? So
I think that was actually put in place to protect Wall Street.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
and
because I was there when that went through.
Yeah, so that was filed last week. I think we mentioned it on Friday, but on Friday they came out and said we don't have enough information to put a restraining order on the ban. Well, they worked like hell over the weekend. On Monday, I believe it was Monday, they put a 24-hour temporary restraining order on the ban. Monday or Tuesday. Anyway, yesterday, so that was while they could hear the case. So the VTA, Vic, and John Glosser have been in court presenting their case with the VTA's attorneys. And they showed the judge enough evidence on tobacco harm reduction that he was like, so New York, where's the link between these THC deaths and the flavor ban? And they're like, oh, shit.
That was really what was proposed? That's what they really asked?
The judge asked that.
This is good.
They couldn't answer it, so they put a 24-hour ban on the restraining order and went back to court the next day. And I don't know any of the details, or I don't want to discuss anything that's not public. But after that process happened, the Supreme Court in New York said, we're gonna put a temporary restraining order until our next hearing on October 18th. No enforcement is allowed on this ban, so shops can continue selling flavors until October 18th when it's heard. And a lot of people familiar with the process in New York, attorneys and politicians, said it's very, very rare for the Supreme Court to come out and issue a temporary ban for anything. A restraining order on a ban for anything, or a restraining order interfering with business, especially from the governor. And then the VTA, John and Vic, did it, got it through, and they said, stop the presses. You can't enforce this until we do more research.
Come on over to Massachusetts when you're done, please.
What are the chances that the governor of Massachusetts will ban Tom Brady? Is that on the card? Is anybody talking about that?
Let's be honest. If you really want to talk sports, Tom Brady is as good as his legacy, but it's all about how you finish. If he finishes bad, then people will still be angry at him. And
ban him.
And if he left the team, if he went to, like, say, the Browns,
that'd be fantastic,
right? New England would turn on him.
Then he would be banned.
It doesn't matter. That's how fickle people are. That's why this is how great being smart is being able to tie everything in together and make great points.
That's exactly right.
But
that's the solution we've all been looking for.
Public opinion, man. The court of public opinion matters. You thought Gladiator was just a fun story to watch and had some historical, basis? No. It's the truth. When you have the mob on your side, you are powerful, okay? That's how elections are won. So for us, we need to win in the court of popular opinion. We haven't been there. We haven't been there for 8 years. We haven't been there since 2016, August 8th, 2016. We've been sitting around, diddling ourselves. I've been there too.
Yep.
Right?
Diddling.
But we're doing it now because there's
Charlie's
no other
been doing
choice.
a tremendous amount of diddling.
Yes.
Swags.
And baby
Tremendous amount of diddling.
Yeah. But no, seriously, there's a lot of people have had problem with advocacy organizations and will talk smack about these groups, but after what the VTA has done, I really hope that people will at least support their actions regardless of how you feel as them as an organization. We've got to be one voice, and we've got to keep the pressure on. The fight is not over. New York has a ton of work, which involves all of us. We've got to fight for every state. Like, I'm in Louisiana. I can't just fight for Louisiana. And I can't imagine the pressure that John and Vic especially must have had on their shoulders, being the guys on the front line with the VTA suing the governor of New York, who's known for overhanded actions like this. They had a lot riding on their back. I'm sure last night was the first night they got decent sleep. So
sure.
I can't thank them enough. I do personal contributions to the VTA because I just think it's important to support the folks that are doing it right. So if all you do is not make a negative comment about the VTA because you don't know what they do, that is support that they need. So we've just got to back these guys up and keep fighting.
Keep fighting. That's the key, man.
I can't remember who it came from. It might have been John or Fig Ramsey, but they said I was having a really horrible day after a whole bunch of days when the vapors got drugged through the mud. And they said, look, don't burn out. You just got to win each day. Like, just try to get a win for the day. And when you get a win for that day, no matter how small it is, celebrate that win. And the next day, wake up and try to get a win for the day. And that's what we've been doing, and it's paying off.
Yep. It's baby steps. It is totally about winning one little battle at a time, convincing one person at a time. Because the thing about it is, and we've said this before, the thing about it is, once you convince somebody or once you show somebody the truth, and they understand how what is really happening here with the MSA. With corrupt health officials, corrupt politicians, things like. Once you let that cat out of the bag, then you'll never get the cat. It's like it'll never go back in. They know now. Their eyes have been opened to what is really going on.
Like, real quick story for the people out there. I know we're running close to late, but I don't want to share too much about this. But a member in our community came to me and asked for a little bit of help. They had a congressperson that had made a few anti-vaping type tweets, save the children, and cause concern. It was their representative in their district.
Wow.
He sent an email to the guy and said, hey, I would like to talk with you and tell you a little bit about where I come from and the businesses that I am responsible for in the industry. And set up a meeting, met with the congressman, took all kind of studies and a stack of documentation. And the congressman went to the vape shop, met with him, and supposedly he says he understands tobacco harm reduction is pro-vaping and will not support any anti-vaping bills. So, I can't stress the importance of those small local relationships.
Right.
Or even all the polls, they may be insignificant, and they are, but if we share every poll and we win every poll, then they're just going to have to say, well, these polls don't mean anything, and they say that enough that we can just start retweeting when they're like, well, look at this poll that we did, and vape and anti-vapors are saying, well, but look at the last 85 polls, and then look at your news article where you say, news polls don't mean anything because they're just opinions.
It was very disappointing for me last week. I found out I didn't know about the poll. Our local news had ran a poll, and it came out to be like 70 or 80% were in favor of banning this new space age technology until we learn what's in it. So our news ran a story on that, basically saying 80% of the people support this, and it was a very anti-vaping. So even though it's a tiny local station, they have reach, and it only takes a second to go to that news agency and tell them how you feel, click yes or no, and that's it. And just make sure you read the entire sentence, because they will try to trick you.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll put double negatives in it that make it hard for you to understand.
I know people share a lot of polls and you get tired of seeing it on your feed, but those tiny insignificant polls reach a lot of people. So just keep the fight up, guys.
Yeah, those are the easiest way to contribute. You just click on the one that is pro-vaping.
That's exactly right. And some of them will let you do it more than one time. So just check it out. It's kind of like the retweet button. Pal702, best Damn it, my moderator message got in the way. Best place to check polls is Real Clear Politics. They aggregate all the major polls, and it somewhat cuts down the bullshit.
I'm telling you, you guys have to have Pal on again soon because the dude is brilliant. When he studied political science, that he got a degree in it, and when I talked to the dude,
I can't wait to have him
he
on.
just
we're gonna,
my brain bleeds
absolutely.
with information.
Yeah,
absolutely.
His
Whenever he's
schedule
available.
his schedule just didn't work out the few times that we've tried it, but Pal will be here one day.
Absolutely, very soon. All right, I got some giveaways, guys. About 5 minutes left. Now, if you're a patron, I'm gonna have a giveaway immediately after this. I'm gonna go live again. So after we shut this show down, it's a Patreon giveaway. So I'll be going live again on YouTube here in like 5 minutes after we're done. But we have 2 giveaways today. First giveaway is for a $25 gift certificate to the greatest e-liquid face this earth. Mont Blanc is what I'm vaping right now, believe it or not. And it is from Shy Tots. So this is for a $25 gift certificate to Shy Tots. I need a number between 1 and 150. Go.
Me?
So Pal paid you $100 apparently to say those nice things about him.
All right, sweet.
Pal, I just want to say that I will totally be your promo guy. Anytime you want to shout out, just hit me up on my PayPal.
That's the first time I've ever been paid for a promo. Feels nice. I'm picking a number between 1 and 160.
Yeah, 1 and 50.
Write it down.
1 and 50.
Yeah,
I'm writing it down.
1 and 150.
All right, I got it in my head. I already know what number.
Oh, you got to write
Closest
it
number
down.
without going over.
Oh.
I don't care.
Paper, dude. This is. I'll write it down on a note on my phone.
Yeah, but just put it in the calculator or something.
Oh, okay.
Because if Pal 702 wins, we want to know that you had the number before.
All right. Oh, that's my yearly salary that was up. I opened that up and just like, oh, I applied for health insurance. I'm an adult now. Not health insurance, life insurance.
Oh wow. Are you gonna tell your family about that, or just keep it on the DL so that you don't end up with something spicy in your food? That
absolutely not. I gave 100% of it to my wife anyway. So, all right, I got the number.
All right, got about 1 more minute to go, and we will close her down. Keep going. Keep going. Adulting. Hashtag. Keegan, only get 1 number, buddy. Sorry. I'll take your first one now. This intake dual is really nice. Holy shit.
I've heard good things. I want to build this Ohana.
Flavor is fucking fantastic. Wow.
Dude, you got your Ohana?
Yeah, I got my Ohana today. Johnny Drips didn't put my apartment number on it, though, so
all right, stop.
I didn't get my informed delivery. I thought it was taken by the Gestapo, and
what's your number?
Oh, 31.
31. Closest number without going over. I got a 7. I got a 13. 13. 22, Jeff Lawson. 22, Jeff Lawson.
Oh.
Jeff Lawson just won $50 from Shy Tots.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude.
Jeff, that's
he won 25 the other day.
Jeff has been kicking ass with spreading the word and stuff. He's a great dude. So
absolutely.
Shout out to Jeff Lawson.
I think we got 22. 22 is our winner. Congratulations, Jeff Lawson. That is your second Shy Tots e-liquid $25 gift certificate. If you've already ordered, then that can be for your next order. Congratulations, man. Get some Mont Blanc. Stuff is fantastic. And get some La Amour if you want a strawberry vape. Shit is the best strawberry vape I've ever had, hands down, bar none. Second giveaway is for 3 sets of coils from our featured builder, Mr. FireAnt. You're also going to win a bottle of e-liquid and a bag of the greatest fiber ever fibered on the fiber ring, the Holy Fiber, blessed by John Paul II before his death. So if you want to win that, I need a number between 1 and 150. I will randomly be picking that number up, and we will eat some babies.
Swaggins, is your dog just piling up stuffed animals at your feet?
I couldn't move my chair, and I looked down. There's 5 toys underneath my chair.
He's like, you're supposed to be playing with me, sir.
Yeah. Oh, are we picking another number, or is that somebody else's job? Did you poop in the house?
No, I'm gonna pull this one randomly. Oh, hi there.
That's like, there's a lot of Instagram pugs, and that's one of my favorite.
I love dog. Beautiful dog.
Yep. Is it a he or a she?
He.
Has he had to have any like surgery for his breathing or anything, or he's been good to go?
No, they mentioned like when he was a puppy, they were like, you can have slits done in his nose to help him breathe better. We didn't do that, but he does have a genetic brain disorder. He has Chiari malformation. It happens in some pugs. It's based on like the King Charles Cocker Spaniel or whatever, and it's like the skull's too small or underdeveloped for the brain, so it causes when they get excited, it causes a buildup of fluid in the spine, which causes intense pain. So he has these little seizure-like episodes. So we have him on a bunch of human medication and also CBD, and he gets through. He's a little over a year old, but
yeah, we've got an elderly dog. I've heard about that with bulldogs get that too, don't they, Swaggins?
Repeat that. My headphones came unplugged.
Is that the same thing bulldogs get with the brain and the skull size, or is there?
I assume it can happen that way for them as well. I mean, the lack of a snout or whatever.
Right.
I mean, there's so many issues inside of this whole area because of that can happen. But
a friend of ours,
totally worth it.
A friend of ours, it's kind of a funny story. This guy and his wife were getting divorced, and he won her back over by buying a pug. But the pug has cost her like $10,000 because of it's had to have a ton of surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I guess from the nose surgery, it had eye problems they had to fix. But it's like a great dog.
It's definitely a risk, but if you want a dog that's gonna love the absolute shit out of you,
I like that.
Pugs.
I like being loved.
Are they territorial? Do they hate anyone that comes close that they don't know? Or
that's a temperament thing. Innately, no. But I mean, based on how you raise it, I mean, we've put him around people a lot and other dogs, the dog park, and I smother him all the time.
49.
All right. So,
winning number is 8. 8 is the winning number. Closest number I see is 6.
Yep. God Bull has 6.
Bull, I see a 7. JTH. I think JTH won. 7, 7, 7. Yep, JTH, you won, brother. Congratulations, man. JTH, I need about $550 shipping. So you want to shoot me $550 PayPal? You got my PayPal. I'll get it out to you tomorrow. All right, we're gonna wrap it up.
Congratulations, JTH.
Yeah, congratulations, brother.
Great member of the community too.
Man of the hour, Mr. Vapor Swaggins. Any words of wisdom before we take off here, sir?
Oh, thank you so much for that. Just get on Twitter, guys. I'm there. I don't want to be there. What's your excuse?
Swaggins, thanks for doing the show. I know that we had to kind of rush for your schedule, so I super appreciate it on short notice because I'm a poor planner and forgot to ask you. So thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone, like Swaggins said, get on Twitter because Swaggins lives in a state that's a fine example of what happens when things go wrong. So get out there and keep the fight up, guys. And don't burn yourself out because this is going to be a long one.
It's going to be, yeah. That's what they're counting on. Is we're going to burn out.
Yep, that's exactly right.
All right, Swags, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Much love and respect to both of you guys.
Oh, thank you. Much love to you, my brother. Much respect. Absolutely. Right back at you. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Mike Vapes, Intake Duel is wicked up, and it is fantastic. Thank you, sir, for showing up. We mentioned KFC. And Mike is a big KFC fan because we've talked about this before. He likes the wedge fries. Wedge fries are fantastic, Mike. I didn't forget.
Oh, man. See, I like small fries. I'm not a fan of the wedge fries. But
if Mike and I ever hang out, we're going to KFC.
Yeah, I would have to make that trip. So, Mike tweeted something. We need everyone to go retweet it. Hopefully it's something good. He didn't give any details.
All right. Also wanted to mention Wired Talk with Big G is a new up-and-coming vaping channel on the YouTubes, and it's a building channel. Make sure you go over and subscribe to I love this guy to death, one of the best guys in the community. Wired Talk with Big G. You'll see it has a wrench there in chat. Just click on his name. go to channel and give him a subscribe. We can all hang out and support him.
Has he thrown a link in?
Has he done? I don't know. Put it if he went Big G. If you can put a link in, that'd be fantastic.
I got it,
man. Got it.
You guys go give Big G a
Cajun
sub.
wedge fries. I like the sandwiches too, Mike. The little sandwiches they make now.
Oh, I like those too.
They're so good. But thanks everybody for showing up. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. If you're in the Patreon, I'm gonna log off and log back in. We're gonna do the giveaway for the .mod AIO going out to somebody very lucky today. Yeah.
And it's
I'm pretty excited about giving it away. I think somebody's going to really, really like it.
Yeah, especially because you have the RBA out now, too. So you can go and buy your RBA, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. I really wanted it, but I've got plenty of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, right?
All right. Thanks, everybody. You guys are the best. Have a fantastic weekend. Tune in to Vapes Do tonight.
Safe.
Catch Mr. Swaggins again. And Tommy's on at 11. Later. Bye.
Bye.